All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, the multi-time flag football champion, my guy, Daniel. What's on your mind today, man?
Man. A lot of things to discuss. But one thing I want to discuss is please don't make if the MVP is not the best team and the quarterback on that team. Like, can we just stop this right now? Like, just pull up all the quarterback stats right now. None of them deserve it. None of them. So we're not finna do this. We're not finna give a quarterback another because I just feel like they just want a quarterback competition. So it's just
Yeah.
like we gonna give it to a quarterback. So then now the quarterback's in competition. We not just just make the best quarterback award if that's the case. Because I'm tired of it. Because MVP, like half these quarterbacks ain't. And if you want to really go off the real valuable quarterbacks, the Chiefs would be 1-15 right now without Pat Mahomes. To be perfectly honest, with the way the offense is drawn up and playing and things like that. So can we just and no shots at my boy Lamar. I love Lamar to death, but he's not the league's MVP. He's not.
Now,
So,
before I hold on. Okay, I'm with you, but sadly, the saddest part about this whole thing is the award kind of is the best quarterback on the best team. That's the
I
fucked
know
up
that
part
what
about
it
this.
kind of is. I know what it is. I know. Okay, I'm okay with it. Like when Pat, everybody's like they're Chiefs fans. You want to say that when Pat won it? Well, Pat had 5,050 yards one year, and the other year he damn near matched it. So it's
Yeah.
just like that shit's crazy. Like let's be honest. This year Pat has more total yards than yo MVP quarterback. So and even with all his turnovers, still have more total touchdowns.
Yeah, I just want to also, if you
So
think about it that way, like so in 2021, Tom Brady had 5,316 yards, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. His team was 13-4, and somehow Aaron Rodgers won the MVP with 4,000 yards, 4,100 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Why? Because the team was, if I remember correctly, no, they didn't
2021,
have they didn't have the best record in the league. See,
it was the touchdown interception ratio.
it's
Oh my
just
God, you threw 30 something touchdowns and four picks. That's crazy because that's the year he beat Mahomes. Same ratio, 38-4.
it's sad because it's based on the MVP is mostly based on best team or best quarterback. Well, really, just if your quarterback is having a good
Is
year
playing
and
well
you're the best team,
Because
you
Brock
win.
Purdy was in the discussion and he's not the best quarterback in the league. He
Because
just
even
he
if you
was
go off efficiency, like because I was reading an article this morning about this exact thing. If you even go off based off efficiency in 2021, Joe Burrow was actually the most efficient quarterback when you take
right,
into factor aggressive throw percentage, which is just like
right.
how deep are you going downfield on a consistent basis versus his completion percentage. He threw 70% that year. Now he had 14 picks, but still, it's like if you basing it off just purely because the thing with Rodgers was it was all short, cheap
Or,
fucking little
or
screens and shit the
and
whole time.
then I got Adams down the sideline.
Hit him on a bomb once or twice a game to fluff the numbers up a little bit. But it's like so if you really look at it, it really is kind of a like
Quarterback award.
best player on the best team kind of thing, like what the NBA was for a while in like the mid 2000s before they realized like, oh, this is stupid. We gave Steve Nash two MVPs over Kobe and Shaq in their prime. What are we doing? It took years. It literally took until the LeBron like 2011, 12, 13, 14 era of time before people started going, "Hey, what are we doing here?" Just because one team has the best record, like does that is that really indicative of who the MVP of the league is? I just
No.
don't know. This whole conversation is fucked up because if I was looking at
It,
it, there was
it
in the past 15 years, there was three quarterbacks that have won the MVP award that didn't have the best record. That's it. 15 years. That's it. Everybody else is the best the quarterback on the best team.
Let me guess. Matt Ryan was one. Oh no, that year they
No.
was good. I would say that year they was good. They was like 13-3 that year.
I
I don't
don't
know.
remember. It
That
was
year they
they
went
had
to
a
the
great
Super.
they had
The
a
year
really good
it
record
was,
though.
yeah, I would say they had a good year that year. Who? 15 years of quarterback. I should that'd be a good one for me because I couldn't even think of the quarterbacks that won in the last couple years.
Hold
Good
on.
question. No, Lamar when he won it, they had a winning record. You said winning record or the best record?
The best record.
Oh shit! The year Lamar broke the rushing record, they didn't have the best record that year. Chiefs did,
Let me see. Damn.
but he
Fuck.
broke. Do you remember he came on the scene breaking rushing records and stuff? Because that's the year we went to the Super Bowl, and actually, I think that's the year we won the Super Bowl. The year Lamar won the MVP.
I think so. No, 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 no. No,
2020.
that would have
How long he
been
been? That was 2019.
18. 2018, 2019, I think. No.
No.
No, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess it was the year that we went to the Super Bowl because it would have been 20, it would have been his second year, so that would have been 19. Wait, I got the shit pulled up right here. So yeah, it was the year we
So
went to the Super Bowl. Yes.
yeah.
Shit. Hold on. I'm trying to find the thing so because it had all the records already. There it is. It already had the shit pulled up when I was looking at it. So it is, if you want to go back even farther here, it goes back even farther than that. It is from 2001 to 2021. It's no. We'll go with 15 years because that's where I said already. So it's Peyton Manning. I mean, if you even take quarterback out, then shit. Oh, I guess it's four. It's three quarterbacks. It's Peyton Manning in 2008. It's Matt. It
Yeah.
was Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan in 2016. They didn't have the best record, so
Yeah.
he's one. Can you guess the last one, the most recent quarterback to win MVP without having the best record in the league? It's easy. You don't think about it too hard.
Pat.
Yeah. 2018, the
Yeah.
first year that
His 5,050
5,050.
yards.
Yep.
Yeah. But
But
5,050 is
it's like outrageous.
that's
Yes.
just especially for your first year of starting. That's why they did it. It was like he has to be because the year before we got bounced in this divisional round or something like
Mm-hmm.
that with Alex Smith. So they said we came on the scene 5,050 AFC Championship. It's like he had that is MVP. Like if you do that, that's MVP level. That's MVP status. Like
And I
you took the
think
team.
Peyton Manning that year, he no Jesus, that's crazy. See, that's
Oh
weird
eight,
too. Oh eight, he threw for 4,000 yards and 27 touchdowns and won the MVP. See this, it's like the
bro. But the
MVP
thing
conversation, it's narrative. All this shit is
it's
that's what we're talking
narrative
about.
and
It's really narrative based.
it's narrative and then there's name based. Guess what? When this year is over, next year, guess who the top five quarterbacks of MVP rating is going to be? It's going to be Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and probably Aaron Rodgers if he come back. Those five are going to start at the top of the MVP race, and then it's their job to win it or lose it. Everybody else got to work their way up. And that
How did Peyton? I'm now my mind is just blown now. How did Peyton Manning win the MVP that year?
oh 08. Now you sound. I'm thinking about how that's my freshman sophomore year in high
Oh,
school.
that's
Oh
why.
08.
It's still the best quarterback on the best team because everybody above him. So the only other people there was Tennessee was 12-4, Pittsburgh was 12-4, Carolina was 12-4, the Giants were 12-4, and then there's a bunch of 11-5 and 9-6 teams. And if you look, so Drew Brees, Kurt Warner, Jay Cutler, Aaron Rodgers, Philip Rivers all have better stats than Peyton Manning, but it's 8-8, 9-7, 8-8, 6-10, 8-8. So
Right.
even that year, it's still just the best, the best record. Like, it's just gross, bro. And I just, uh, that's what we're
It
doing this year. We're doing the same thing with this year. We're
we
gonna
are.
we're
We're
gonna
gonna give
put
it to Lamar
because
when he
he's
got
on the best
16,
team.
20 total touchdowns, whatever he got now, and then what?
But it's just like
A
that
little bit
Peyton
over
Manning
three
year.
thousand, a little bit over 3,000 total yards though. We're not talking just passing yards. He don't even have 4,000 total yards yet,
I know. But that's not
which
that
is
much worse than
absurd.
that Peyton Manning year.
I seen something.
4,027 with 12 interceptions.
He's 15th in passing yards and 20th in rushing yards. Granted, a quarterback top 20 in rushing. Oh, that's great, I guess.
Uh
But for Lamar Jackson, we know you can run.
yeah.
But 15th in total in passing yards? What are we doing here?
My thing is
What are we
just
doing?
why if we need to change the name then.
Yeah,
Because it's not truly the most valuable player
it's not.
award. Or I guess you can keep this and then have uh uh
Best
most
quarterback award.
a best quarterback or a most
Most
outstanding quarterback award or most
most
outstanding
dominant
player.
player,
Yeah, like
most
something.
like some most dominant player. They because they got most out like offensive player of the year,
Nah,
like
you need the most
whoever.
outstanding, just a separate. It's not just offensive player, but it's like any player who's not quite the MVP or who could be the MVP but just isn't a quarterback and isn't on a great team.
Yeah, what you
Because
know
it
what
would
they
have been
call
like
that?
it would have been Drew Brees. Just call it the Drew Brees Award because that's who it would have went to for
But
like
what's
2 years
crazy?
straight.
What was crazy is they do that. Lamar's gonna win it this year. Guess what? CMC might win it. The offensive player of the year award because he should have got
That's
MVP,
so
but since we
silly.
couldn't give you that, we're gonna give you that. And guess who's gonna get the defensive player of the year award? The one who should have been in MVP had MVP votes on the defensive side. That's what they do. Like they
But did
give
you
it
know
to the
Micah
people who they should
Parsons
have
is
won,
still the favorite to win Defensive
which is
Player of the Year?
weird.
That's
Miles Garrett
so
should
weird.
definitely be on. Like this is it's weird. Michael Parsons has been quiet every other game. Like I just don't understand that either. Like what I don't know
uh,
what Vegas is doing with these odds and who's got like money in it, and but it something needs to change because I don't care about limelight. Who's the face of what franchise? Who's the face of the NFL? The next Lawrence Taylor, so they say. Lawrence Taylor would never get shut out in a game with 0 across the stat board.
I
But
just I think that the NFL needs to take a page out of the NBA's book because we are right now, we're like slowly falling into an era where the MVP is gonna look like nonsense. And I really believe sad and I know this is oh, you're a homer, blah 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 blah. But if we being realistic, bro, like the fact that Aaron Rodgers won the MVP over Tom Brady 1 year and then Mahomes in another year back to back like that is so wild to me when you think about like even the playoff runs. He just went into the playoffs and just shit
and
in it right in
shit
his
is up.
pants.
But
Every time, both those years, it was the same exact thing. And he didn't
and
even
that's a
have the outstanding statistics. It's just he only threw 4 interceptions. It's like that's cool when you only throw the ball deep one time every game or two or
and
three times a game.
and
It's just
that's the
that's what it's just so weird right now.
and that's
Even
the issue I have
go
with
ahead.
Lamar. It's like I don't think Baltimore is as dominant as people. Like, yeah, they ran over San Fran. Don't get me wrong, real good game, real game plan, good game plan going in there, and they did their job. But let's look at the past. That's why I say NFL is so prisoner of the moment. Once
Yeah.
you beat a good team, everybody forget about the other teams you struggled against.
Well, hold on.
So
Let's
just
jump
like
straight into recapping some of the week 16 stuff. So
yeah,
what you talking about? The Ravens beat the 49ers what
right,
33 to 19.
right.
Um let's just start there. Keep going with Lamar. Like you right, but like that's it. Everything is prisoner of the moment. Everything is narrative based. There is no let's look back at the totality of the entire season. Why? Because people don't watch the fucking games. That's the real shit. The deeper, darker thing here is people are not watching these games. If you watch the
Oh,
games and you telling me that Lamar has just superseded he like people talk about Lamar hitting some magical new level that he's never been at before and it's not, that is just absolutely not true. There is nothing different. He's actually throwing the ball statistically slightly less than usual per game. But nobody even wants to talk about that. We just look at it and go, look, he's not just only taking off, so that means he's a better passer now. No, he could always pass the ball very well. He was always above average when it came to throwing the football. It's just he's so talented as an athlete. His first reaction is always to, I can take off and take this bitch 24 yards. And now that he doesn't do that and he scrambles around and creates space for himself to throw more often than he did, that's not like a huge improvement. That's
I
something
don't.
I remember Patrick Mahomes that MVP season. I remember sitting watching all the games and going, Pat never steps up in the pocket. He wouldn't take all these extra sacks that he's taken if he just stepped up into the pocket. And
Right.
guess what he does now? Step up into the pocket. That took a year and a half to fix. Lamar's still doing the same shit. It's just now it's working. It's fine. He knows how to maneuver and how to keep himself
Uses
from
yeah.
getting sacked
Right.
so often. And to me, like after this game, everybody jumps in. Lamar's the MVP. The Ravens are the best team in the NFL. That's cool, and we can ride with the little narrative that right now to me there is no team that's the best. That's not a thing this year.
No, no
And
best
the
team.
closest thing
This
to it,
year's playoffs is gonna be any like I'm eager to watch the playoffs this year
oh
because
yes, I'm
it
ready.
could this is the most this most years you like, all right, we know this
We
game is going
know
bro,
these three teams are the teams that can win. Yeah,
yeah, this year anybody like bro, like
I
the
don't know
way
what the fuck gonna happen.
the Browns could go shock everybody with Joe
Yes,
Flacco
yeah,
easily. The way
easy.
Joe Flacco is
That's not
playing, the way that
crazy.
defense is playing, the Browns could really go in there and tear everybody up
Yeah,
through the point. Everybody gonna be like, what?
if you told
Like,
me,
cause
hey,
don't forget the Browns and the Ravens is a divisional game. So don't make it
the
seem.
Browns and the Rams will be the Super Bowl this year, I'd be like, I could see a world where that happens. I
Yeah,
can see that. Yeah,
I can see a world where we make it to the Super Bowl. I can see a world
yeah,
where it's a Chiefs Cowboys, a Chiefs Eagles, a 49ers 49ers Ravens,
yeah.
Detroit Ravens,
Everything's on the
so
table this year.
anything's on table. It's just like I'm sorry for whoever got Super Bowl parlays this year. Mm-mm.
But you want me to pretend you like people are like asking like for some suspension of disbelief for the Ravens in the playoffs. We have not seen it. Let me pull this up because I had a little stat thing that
What they're not
Lamar's 1-3 in the playoffs, by the way, for people that don't
yeah,
know. Lamar has
for people
won
who
one playoff game against the Titans and Ryan Tannehill. And you know why he won that game? Because the defense shut Derrick Henry down and he had like 70 yards
six,
on
seven, it's
like
like 70. He
16
22
carries.
carries. I think it was
He,
like 22 carries, 70
yeah,
some yards.
they
Yeah.
they stopped the
I remember
run
that game. They put the hammer on
because
Derek that
Lamar
game.
didn't really do a lot. I think he had like under 200 yards. He had like 170 something yards.
Yeah.
It's just so I just wanted to point this out for the people that look at this and go, this is runaway. Lamar's the MVP. The Ravens are the best team. They are on the path to go win the Super Bowl. That sounds great until you realize Lamar has started in 4 playoff games. 1 through 5, where the man has gotten sacked. We talking about Lamar Jackson here, one of the most explosive athletes that plays the quarterback position. There are on this list, what? Let me go to the bottom, see exactly how many it is. There are 147 quarterbacks who have started. Well, let me see exactly where this line stops at with 4. Bam. Okay. There's 15 quarterbacks that have started 4 or less games in the playoffs. Lamar is the leader by 5 in sacks. One of the fastest, most explosive quarterbacks we ever seen is number 1 in getting sacked. Tell me how
You
that
know what they
works. How does that
because
work?
you know what they say in the playoffs? They take away the thing you do best. And now you gotta find what you do something different in the playoffs. And what does Lamar do best? Okay, he scrambles outside the pocket. They
No,
not
it's not even that.
he,
It's running.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Scrambling, running outside the pocket. But you gonna be
His
very
scrambling is bad. Like that's the thing that I think people don't realize is that just because you do, it's the same way like Pat's the MVP year where he was going crazy, 50 touchdowns. Da, da, da. How many times was it the same exact thing? Drop back, drop back even further, 5 more yards, scramble to the
mm-hmm.
left, and chuck that bitch
And
down to
chuck that
Tyreek
bitch.
somewhere 70
Yeah,
yards. That was the over and over and over and over again. And a year in, 2 years in, they stopped doing like they stopped
cover
that. They
two.
found a
We're
way to
like,
stop
well,
that.
we
You
definitely
can't just
gonna
do
cover two
this.
this.
Yeah, you got a 5'8" wide receiver who's outrunning everybody. Guess what? We're just gonna put 3 people on him every play. Like this is gonna be 3 people around him, 2 people at a minimum every play. You can't just do this. You can't just run out to the left and throw it to Kelsey, run out to the left and throw it to Tyree. You can't just do that forever and kill the whole league. Same thing with Lamar. Lamar, no, we are going to contain. We're gonna play contain, and as long as we do that, and we're gonna spy you. And guess what? When you start
Spot.
running around and trying to like take off, you're gonna notice, oh shit, there's 3 people just staring at me. And then what does that do?
Yes.
It causes him to play tight. And now on top of that, and they get into him. The other side of this, that's not even just it. So he has 19 sacks in 4 playoff games. Okay.
Hmm.
His touchdown, he has 3 touchdowns in those 4 playoff games. Well, hold on. He has 3 passing touchdowns, and I want to say it's I think 2 or 3 more rushing touchdowns. But he also has 5 interceptions. So
Yeah.
his passing is 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and he has uh
May I add an
five
asterisk to this
fumbles.
for Lamar though?
Go
If
ahead.
I'm not mistaken, Orlando Brown Jr. was his one of his tackles, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see why he got sacked.
Yeah, true.
The fact that Orlando Brown Jr. That side note blocked for Lamar, Pat, and Joe Burrow now.
That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy as hell.
That is pretty crazy.
I ain't even really noticed that until I just said it. That's crazy as hell. Like,
I
and
just
he can't block for none of them.
But just think about that, bro. Think about that for Lamar. 19 sacks, 5 fumbles, 5 interceptions in 4 games.
So
Does that sounds and this is what I've been
it's
saying. There's a recipe to beating the Ravens. All you got to do is get a lead. If you get a lead on them boys, it's done. It's done because he's gonna force shit. He's gonna fumble the ball. He's gonna throw an interception. He's gonna get sacked, which really doesn't make any sense whatsoever when you think
well,
about
the
he's
thing
the
about it is they the same. The Ravens and the 49ers are the same team. They are get a lead, run the ball.
that's
There we go.
Dallas. That's the Lions.
That's,
That's every solid team this year. Like all the top. That's the Philly. Basically, is the same way. Every good team this year is the same thing.
it's like they just want to secure the win and so they
Yeah,
just like I just don't
you got
I
3 teams and 3 quarterbacks that I can think of right off the top of my head that aren't in that situation. It's Mahomes, but he don't got the
yeah
weapons for real. Then it's Josh Allen, and then it's Stafford.
yeah
Am I missing anybody that can just, hey, we're down, but it's cool. We got the guy that can go 75 yards, bang, 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 get us a touchdown.
yeah no
That's
and
it.
it's just but and I ain't saying this as a Chiefs fan. I'm just saying it as somebody that watches football. Don't be gung ho on what your team record is or seed is going into
Oh,
the playoffs. Like
this ain't one of them
this
years.
ain't one of those years. That was
Everybody
like
has
this.
major flaws,
It's yeah
major
it's
serious flaws.
and if you really watch the games and watch everything, like you can tell, like there's no just like picture perfect team. Like every team at least has 3 losses, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
You want to know something sick? Yeah, yeah. The sick part for the Ravens also why I just can't look at them like they just hands down the best team. They're on the road to the Super Bowl. They have led every single game this year. That's this big stat everybody keeps talking about. The Ravens have led going into the fourth quarter every single game this year, and they still got 3 losses. How is that? If they such a dominant team, how do they have three
Yeah,
losses and they've led
and it
every single game going into the fourth quarter?
let's not say they went. Let's not add they went into overtime with the Rams too.
That too. Good point. That is also a good point. So you can
So
chalk that
like
up to so what's happening? It's the same thing I've been saying for weeks now. When they get a lead, they get up by 10, 14, whatever it is. They just 3 handoffs. Hopefully we get a first down. If we don't, punt. And they'll do that for 2, 3 straight quarters until the other team gets close. And then they
Yeah, but
try to,
people don't.
oh, now let's get Lamar back going. And that doesn't work like that.
It sucks
Athletes and
because
football doesn't work like they can't just snap your finger and go, hey, start back up going crazy again.
yeah, and
No.
then you put too much. You put too much. I feel like that shit's so dumb because you put so much pressure on your defense because it's just like
Yeah.
they just left the field.
Yes.
That's why I be that, and that's my whole point with the Chiefs this year, dude.
Yeah.
Your defense just left the field, and
Yes. You
it's
need
a
to get a
bro.
couple first downs.
Our first drive this past game was like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like what are y'all doing? Defense just went crazy. Actually, no, we got the ball
We'll
first.
get to the Chiefs later.
Doing it,
Let's stay on the
yeah.
Niners shit. So
But
let's
I'm
get
just
off.
saying, period, as in like just like I hate when teams do that. They get up 10, they just start running
Yes.
the ball. Like, bro, your defense, like y'all
That
not going.
works. That works
Nobody
if you
has
getting first
Barry
downs.
Sanders back there.
But
Where's
if
Emmett
you getting
Smith?
first downs, I'm fine with it. If your
Yeah,
collection of running backs is getting you down the field, cool. But that doesn't work when you do it 3 straight times and you go 3 and out, or you go 5 and out, or whatever. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
but
no.
when the defense got their ears peeled back and they was like they know what you about to do because they know what scenario they in. Oh
Yeah.
man, they up 10 with 10 minutes left. They just gonna try to run this back. All right, bet.
Yep. We
It's
finna be
gonna be a lot of
on
run
your head.
blitzes, a lot of everything. Like just and it's the opposite. When you down 10 and you need to everybody know you gotta pass. So guess what? Ears pinned back, defense is going crazy. So it's just like I feel like you still gotta okay, there is a time where you have to do it, but I still feel like you gotta keep it honest. You gotta keep that defense honest, or it's gonna
Of
come back to be
course.
I
That's
just don't know. That
I
shit's weird to me. I've never just
I don't understand it either. But it to me, but see, like the Niners. If the Niners get into that, that's a team that it feels like, okay, this is comfortable. Like you watching it, you go, it's Christian McCaffrey, this O line. They just gonna run it behind Trent Williams 3 times, and they probably are gonna get a first down like for sure in one of these. You know what I mean? With the
yeah.
Ravens right now, with Mitchell out, even with Mitchell, like he was a home run hitter, but he wasn't just consistently, I'm gonna get you
Yeah.
4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. No, that's the problem with the Ravens is they get into that this mode where it's like, all right, turn the car off. Let's just sit and hope we can hold on and go home. And you can do that if you have a running back who's consistently getting you 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards. But if you're just getting stuffed half the time, this shit don't work. Like
No.
that game plan doesn't work. It's the same thing. Like the Lions kind of go through the same thing, except for them, they defense is so ass that they have to continue to throw the ball because they don't get a chance where they up 10, 14 points. They're just in these shootouts where they have to score
Shootouts.
35 points every game.
So definitely a 2019 Chiefs team right there.
Yeah. But it's like, so with the Ravens, I just don't, the hype is cool and we keep doing this because there is no clear cut favorites
Yeah. They
in
want
reality.
somebody to be one.
Yeah, we're fabricating a clear favorite in the Ravens because 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, nobody was saying that about the Ravens. People that have picked the Ravens to win Super Bowls and shit, nobody was talking about them being favorites, being a great team. Why? We seen how y'all lost to the Steelers. We seen how y'all lost to the Colts. We seen the comeback from the Browns. Like we seen all these things. We've seen y'all struggle to hold leads against other teams. It's not like let's go to the other side of the ball though. The 49ers. And we had a little, we had a good time this week
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dealing.
Shout out to the people on TikTok and Instagram keeping us honest.
I mean,
I
hey,
will,
all those comments just sharpen the tools. It just
yeah,
that's all it is,
hey, just getting us ready for the highlight when we on big screens.
man. Because man, we was getting torn apart for that Brock
Well,
Purdy,
torn
Jared Goff
apart. I
thing,
didn't even know I was 50 comments away. I'm like, you
bruh.
say you getting torn up. I'm like, on what?
On
I'm like,
bruh, it
I
was
gotta turn my
crazy.
notifications on, like, cause this is out of control.
I couldn't believe the response to that. I get it though, but it's
But it's
just
crazy because one video went crazy on TikTok, but the other one went
yeah
crazy on
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
It's just,
So
I'm like,
let's
okay,
start with Purdy because I feel like that's the big one.
that is.
Come on, I mean
I
I
know.
tried
Hey,
to tell
listen.
everybody. I tried to tell everybody. I tried to
Hey,
tell
bro.
y'all.
Like,
This man is just Jared Goff in disguise. If you, however good you think Jared Goff is, that's how good Brock Purdy is, low key.
well,
But Jared Goff,
uh,
like, better
he's
arm.
he's a number one pick.
He has a better arm
He's
than
also
Brock
6
Purdy.
inches big. 6 inches.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably, I think, well, how tall is Brock Purdy? 6'1"?
Probably somewhere around there. Jared Goff was what, like 6'3", maybe.
Yeah.
But
I
I heard
would assume he's
they
listed
say he
at.
got real small hands too, though.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't give a fuck about the small hands. Low key, I
Yeah, I
think
don't
Pat
know.
has small hands. Does that matter? No, doesn't matter. Small hands doesn't mean
No,
shit. Like that, I hate that. That's
I
the
don't even
one
know I don't even know what they measured, like what's big and what's small on hands
they
anyway. Like,
measure your hand from here to here. Like so, you spread your shit like this, and they
yeah,
measure from
but
your pinky to
I
your
just don't
thumb.
know. I just don't understand, like, what's an average size hand for a quarterback?
Oh yeah,
Like what it? Okay.
it's dependent on your height. I think the comparison between the hand size and
Oh,
your
okay.
height. So if you have like, I want to say is, we can Google this. I mean, this is a silly thing, but fuck it.
It's like, why not? Like,
Yeah, fuck it. And I think Joe Burrow has small hands. Like, this is a thing
well, a
that
lot
does
of
not matter.
quarterbacks probably have small hands. Like, because
So
I hear it a lot with quarterbacks.
the average hand size for the 39 quarterbacks taken in the first round from 2008 to 2020 is 9.7 inches. So 9.7 inches from here to here.
Okay.
So, yeah, that just doesn't sound like it matters. It's like, oh, can you grip the ball when it's cold and snowy outside?
Yeah.
Who gives
I
a
don't.
fuck? Like, wear a glove, man. So Jared Goff's hand size is 9 inches. Like, all right.
Oh, so see, he's point 0.7 off
I
shooting.
always
But
remember this is how I
whatever.
remember the size of my hand is that I always remember I have the same hand size as LeBron James, which I thought was weird. So 9 1/4. So LeBron has small hands. Yeah, like who
Nah,
that just doesn't
for a
matter.
quarterback,
It doesn't
I don't
matter.
even know what
No,
my
compared to
hand
his
size
size.
is.
Because LeBron, you
Oh,
gotta think LeBron's
yeah.
6'8". That would be weird if I went to shake LeBron's hand and we had the same size.
I
That
know.
would be a
I
little
went.
awkward.
I went and dapped Tony Gonzalez up one time when we was in the same room. He came to this little meeting I was at.
Yeah.
His hands, my God, I thought he was gripping my whole damn forearm. I'm like,
Oh
God
yeah.
dang, bro.
It's like
Like,
Kawhi. Kawhi's hand is like 12 inches long from pinky to thumb. But it's like it's such a silly thing. It doesn't matter. Like, can you play ball? That's it.
right.
But let's
But no,
back to Brock
yeah.
Purdy
But
though.
we always
Brock
do
Purdy
these
got
tangents,
fucking
but it's
cooked,
good.
bro. Let's just be honest. He got
He
cooked.
got spooked by that defense. It wasn't good. He got spooked.
You think so?
And then, yeah, that's what it was. Fast, uh, physical defense. When the last game he played a fast physical defense? What happened the last game he played a fast physical defense?
The Browns, where he did the same thing, just less picks.
Okay, right.
I think
And
the
then before
Ravens
that,
secondary is
what
a little underrated. That's what I took away.
the last important game he played where the defense was fast and physical.
I don't even remember.
Mm, yeah, the playoff game where he got hurt.
No, I don't count that though.
Oh yeah, but they was
He
fast and
didn't even get a
physical.
chance to be bad. He got fucked up
Yeah,
so
yeah,
bad.
exactly. Because he got they was fast and physical and knocked his ass,
True.
and then they and then they knocked him out this game.
Yeah. Yeah, he hurt his groin or something. Yeah, at the end of the game, they put Sam Darnold in, who also threw a pick.
Threw a pick in the end zone. So it's just
Bro,
like
that
he's
one
just
I
so.
couldn't believe that.
I don't. I just Brock Purdy. I want to like him, but I just it's hard too because they trying to put him in this echelon
That's what it
category that
is. That's what it
he's
is.
not in yet.
He cool. That to me, that's the thing. Is like everybody gets so hyped up when you say, like when you make a comparison, like somebody commented today still saying,
Yeah.
well, you got to think like Jared Goff was a number one pick and Brock Purdy was picked in the 6th round. It's like, okay, so what? They still are similar talents. Like it's
Okay,
not
and
like they're
then
just like such a far gap. It doesn't matter if one's in the 1st round, one's
and
in the
Tom Brady was the
sixth.
6th round. Then
But it's
and
like,
then
or
let's
one's
be
in his 2nd year, one's in his 9th year. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like
okay.
even okay,
Okay.
so you should be high. You should be that's cool. What I'm saying should be good that Brock Purdy is at a level of Jared Goff, a long-term 10-year starter in the league,
Who
already
made
in
it to
year
a Super
two.
Bowl?
He could be an MVP. I think Brock Purdy be an MVP caliber player? Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
But the same way Matt Ryan won an MVP, was that
With
like,
Cal Shanahan,
but
had the
it's like,
same
yeah,
coach.
did we think that Matt Ryan was just some superb, super talented guy? No, but he still
No,
won an MVP and was a long-term starter in the league. Like, could Brock Purdy do that? Yeah. Is he
it
the
just
MVP right now and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already because he's on this weird run? No, absolutely not. Like that, no, he's not even having a like super crazy statistical year. It's the efficiency.
you
Then
know
when
what
you
it
break
is.
down some of those stats, it's like, of course he's being efficient. His yards. So people are like, oh, his yards per attempt are 9.9. Do people not also realize that his yards after the catch per attempt is 7.9? Do you know how
Yeah,
crazy that
so
is?
they damn near matching it after they catch the ball.
Yes. And then you wonder why he's so efficient. Well, guess what? If I throw the ball for a 10-yard completion, eight
I
of
get
seven,
seven
yeah,
more after it.
yeah. Or the opposite version of that is if I throw it to the line, my guy's taking it 10 yards every time. Like that's where the efficiency is coming from. Like it just doesn't make any sense that I don't know. The Brock Purdy thing is just so annoying. It's like the guy's good. I never said that the guy's not good. He is mid though. Like I'm not gonna say he's better than
Oh,
mid right
okay.
now.
So
That's good though. You a second year, 6th round pick, and you are a middling court. You top 15. That's pretty good. Now I would take that if I would have took that in 2008 on the Chiefs. You know what I
guess
mean?
what?
Like I would have took that over
I don't
Matt
want to. I don't
Castle in
want to. I don't want to.
2011.
I don't want to say it, but he might be peaking a little bit too early.
That's true. That's very possible
And he
also.
also might be peaking to the point where I think the 49ers know they don't want him, but they just gonna use him. And then
So
they gonna send him to another team before it's time to get paid. And then
so
we gonna find out the real Brock Purdy, which
or
what I'm trying to say is it's gonna be the opposite of Jared Goff's career. Jared
which is
Goff,
which is just Dak Prescott. You peaked in your rookie year, in your second year, and then you went 8-8
yeah, but
for 3-4 straight years, and now you're just now getting back to people looking at you like you're a
yeah,
good
but
quarterback again.
I just don't I don't think the difference between Purdy and Dak is one's bigger physically and I think one's also stronger mentally. I think Brock is
You think Brock is stronger mentally than Dak?
no. I think Dak is, as in like,
The Miami Dolphins beat the Cowboys 22-20 on Christmas Day. No, it was Saturday, right? It doesn't matter. The Dolphins beat the Cowboys. I can't hear you. Damn. I can't hear nothing coming from your end. You got to do
can you
the
hear me now?
yep. Turn it on. Turn
All
it.
right.
Turn it off. Turn it back on. The good old special.
Yeah, right. Good old. Did you turn it off? Like
So did you watch the Cowboys game?
Saturday?
I
No,
think
I
it was
worked.
Saturday.
It was
Okay.
Saturday. No, I had to work, so I caught up. But
You think Dak Prescott is mentally tougher than Brock Purdy?
well, I'm not saying like playing has something to do with it, but just like carrying yourself and how you carry yourself and how you hit the press conferences afterwards and things like that. We
Oh,
have
I don't
multiple
take
years of
nothing. I don't take that into account whatsoever.
we have multiple years of Dak Prescott of playing and things like that. I think he really is like one of those. He can handle press conferences well, win or loss, things like that. Just seeing Brock's demeanor after throwing
So
four
hold on.
picks.
Where do you
No, just
think? Hold on. Do you put Russell Wilson in that same category over Brock Purdy then? Because his press conference is always the same steady. Oh, attaboy, let's go. We do better next time.
no.
Come on,
But
guys, let's go.
we all know Russell's on this down spur. He's just trying to hype himself up. Like we
But I
talking about.
think I think that's the same thing with Dak. I think Dak is on the downward swing. He's getting more.
I,
He plays more. You know what? I hate to do this to you, and I don't want to start this argument, but the
don't bring
exact
up Alex. Please
that's
don't bring up
exactly where
Alex.
I'm going. The exact same
Uh,
thing that I hated about Alex Smith is what Dak is turning into. The only difference is CeeDee Lamb is amazing, and Alex Smith. I mean, he had Kelsey and
Yeah,
Tyreek, but
Tyreek.
wait, they wasn't they self yet. Like they wasn't there all the way yet. Like it was that wasn't somebody that he could rely on in the same way that Dak can rely on CeeDee Lamb right now in this moment.
Mm,
So I just think it's the same thing, guys. So you still play
I just
flag
think
football right now. You telling
right.
me you've never been on the field and looked at the quarterback and went, this guy is scared to death. This guy, okay, he might be able to throw the ball, he might be fast, but he is scared out of his mind. You never or
Yes.
nervous or whatever at just at all times. Do you
Yeah,
think
I
there's
do
a
that.
difference between? Do you think there's a difference between looking at a guy who plays nervous and plays scared and doesn't want to fuck up versus the guy who just ultra confident and is like, I'm good, I got this. Like I'll make every throw. I'm cool. I don't care.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they don't. They. I'm just going because when I watch Brock Purdy's just the way his just off his press conference, especially after throwing 4 picks and then getting benched for whatever reason,
Hmm.
injury X, Y, and Z. Like his demeanor looked down, as in like,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean he could be sad, but it just looked like it's just like, man, fuck, like
I'll
how am
take
I
that.
gonna come back from this?
I will take that. I
Like
will take
how
a
am I gonna come?
guy but I'll take a guy who maybe after the game is a little down on himself, but goes back in the game and is still firing that shit to the point where he threw
Well,
four
yeah,
picks.
that's what I'm saying. And I
Dak
was
not
just
gonna
about to
do that.
say,
Dak's
I
not
was
gonna do
just
that.
about
He's gonna start shitting his pants if he throws up 2 picks in the first half, in the first quarter. He is not going to take any shots whatsoever ever again for the rest of
So
the
you saying
game.
right now you would rather have Purdy over Dak?
Yes. I think
No,
so. I think
I
so. I
wouldn't.
think I'd rather have Purdy over Dak Prescott. One is
I would
20.
not.
Wow, one is 30 and one's 24. Also, that's the
Oh,
other side. I'm taking the guy that has upside still. I think Dak's upside is done. I think this is the upside. This is what you get. A
maybe
guy that if he's confident and
maybe
has a
he need a
lead, he
new.
can play good.
Does he? Maybe he need a new home.
No. How many
Maybe
coaches
the star on
and
the side of
places
the
does a
head.
guy have to go?
Maybe
Like,
the and that's another thing. How many coaches? Like how many coaches has
because I
that
heard
went
somebody
through
talking
as
about
well?
firing McCarthy now because they're not playing up to their potential. That's what this is. It's the same thing. We've been doing this for fucking 10 years, bro. Like we've been doing this for. It's almost
I
been ten
don't.
years now. What are we
I
talking about?
just I just
Dak
don't
is the
think
problem. Dak is not the
I
guy.
my conclusion from my point
Go ahead, my
is
bad.
I don't think I don't know if Purdy can overcome this 4 pick game like everybody think he can. Everybody else around him is gonna have to just do so. But I just him as a quarterback, I don't know. They're gonna have to show me as a because
You not gonna make
are
me
they
hop to the
are
other
they
side and defend Brock Purdy right
are
now,
they
though.
are they
Like, what is happening?
are are they gonna face other defenses like the Ravens the next couple weeks? Probably not. Who do they play the next 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Actually, they do have. No, I think they got like the Giants or something. It's 2 easy games, but the playoffs, like they gonna get after him in that playoffs, man. Like,
They
and I feel
play
like
Commanders
pressure.
and Rams.
Oh, so that Rams game,
I think
you know,
they'll be
Aaron
fine.
Donald be having up, especially them small
They already
quarterbacks.
played
He
them
be having
once.
them
It was a
run.
close game, but they already played them once and
Uh,
won.
yeah, but this is the Rams where they need
Let me see. So when they went on a skid,
it. Like this is the Rams when they need it.
they went on a skid and he threw. Let me see. It started with Cleveland and he threw one
Yeah,
pick, had 125 yards. Then he threw 2 picks
right.
in Minnesota, 2 picks in Cincinnati.
Look up the sacks. How many sacks was it? That's what I'm getting at. Sacks
Sacks
and pressures.
is three, three in Cleveland, one in Minnesota, two in Cincinnati. But he got sacked more after that and they went what fired off 5 straight. One, two, three, four, five, 6 straight. That's so what I'm saying is I hear what you're saying, but I just don't. I think that Brock Purdy, I think, has the confidence in the game that he's gonna go back in there and still fire. And because why not? You're playing with the fucking Avenger. You playing with one of the best talented
Okay.
offenses in the league in the past 20 years. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think that
I,
alone gives him the confidence to go in there and continue to fire. I'm just gonna keep shooting
yeah,
the shot.
I get it, but if you look at that Ravens game, he was firing all right. But them Ravens defense, boy, they was on their ass. Like a lot of those picks was what? At the line, coming off, blitz off the edge, tipping the ball, pick. He tried to squeeze it in somewhere, not a strong arm, bounce, pick. So it's just like it's a lot of
Yeah,
things he can't do when he's under pressure like
but
other
hold
quarterbacks
on.
can because his
But
arm
this
strength.
this whole thing started because you said Dak is more
Right.
mentally strong than Brock Purdy, and I just think that is completely false because I've seen.
I
What about the Bill? Did you watch the Bills game?
yeah, I watched that one.
So then there's no way you telling me that guy that played that game is more confident than Brock Purdy, who just played that game, who threw 3 picks in the first half and still was chucking it and still taking his shots downfield.
Yeah,
And he was
so
getting
is that
cooked by a defense that knew what he was gonna do. We know what you're doing. We know how to
yeah,
counter this, and they beat the shit out of him. And like,
but a lot of that has to do with play calling and coaching as well. Like I'm sure if it came to it, Dak would be
I
launching that
don't think
mug
so.
and throwing
I
to.
don't think so. I think they
But
call up the
any
plays. You
quarterback
got
would want to.
no. I
It's just like
think
any.
see, no. See, you're thinking from a you so I think you so used to Pat that you don't recognize
No,
some of this.
well, I play. Well,
Or
I
no, you know
played
what it
quarterback in
is?
high school,
Now you
so
know what
I
it
know.
is.
Like,
You overlook that shit because you like Alex Smith. That's what it is. Deep in your core, the Alex
oh
Smith
my
shit
god,
is still. It's just you don't see it the same way because I hated that shit so much. I stopped
no,
watching the Chiefs for a while because I hated watching a guy
no,
who was scared and couldn't throw the ball left. You know, like
no, no.
or
What I
right.
do
Excuse
is
me,
I
couldn't throw the ball
analyze.
right.
I didn't. You don't realize I played every position. Like I played quarterback in
Yeah,
high school. I backed up 2 Division I quarterbacks. I played receiver in high school. I also played safety in high school. So
yeah.
I played all those positions. So I understand like the nuance of like every position and what to do.
So then,
Yeah.
how do
So
you see Dak and go? This is a guy that's very confident at all times in the game.
no,
How?
I said he was stronger mentally than Brock Purdy. At this moment, I think he is. Like I said at this moment after that game and throwing 4 picks against that team in that moment where it was just MVP on the line, everything else on the line. Now it's 3 teams. Number one, the number one seed ain't safe.
Yeah. Now
Now it's more pressure next week.
the funniest thing about this is Dak didn't really shut down in this game. That's the funny part. He didn't really shut off in this game. He actually got him downfield and got him in a position to win the game. It's just the defense didn't show up. That vaunted Michael Parsons and
Dallas
the boys
defense.
just
The
yeah,
Michael
this
defensive
top
player of the
three
year,
defense, yeah, like just
Mr. Podcast. Shout
nowhere to
out
be
to Mike.
found to get a
But
stop against Tua and Tyreek. But it's like there's been so many games where I watch the Cowboys and it's just Dak. You can tell he's done. Like he checks out of the game. It's like I'm not gonna get hit. I'm not gonna try to force the ball downfield to make a big play, even though we're down fucking 17 right now or whatever it is. Like even though we're down 10, I'm not doing that. Like, and I just think I want the guy who's gonna keep going in there and shooting his shot. In basketball terms, it's like you miss 2 threes and you just don't shoot the rest of the game, you can't be my star player. A person like that, you cannot be my go-to
yeah,
guy
but the thing about
ever
it
again,
is that's
ever.
kind of hard to compare it to basketball because it's just like
But it's the same thing.
the
If
quarterback doesn't call the shots to throw it down the field.
yeah,
Obviously, if the
but if
play
we
call is
call
designed for it, yeah. But a shooter in basketball,
so
yes,
hold
bro.
on, but
Like the
so what
coach
you
can't tell you stop shooting. I'm
I
gonna shoot this
understand.
bitch if I'm
No,
on the
hold
floor.
on. I
Like
understand what you're saying, but the problem with that is, so you telling me that in these situations when the Cowboys get down and they need to throw the ball, the coaching staff isn't calling any type of plays that have any shots down the field, because
I'm
I
sure they are, but
okay, but so you
everybody. Well, if
hold
you
on, but
but the
you know also that if I call a play and tell you this guy's your read, but you look the other way, that's not on the coaches, right? I know
no, it's
this.
not.
I
But
know he running a deep post and he running a hitch, but I think this hitch is the safer route. So I'm gonna look here first. That's not on the coaching. That's on the quarterback.
it's not. But when you need to throw the ball, the first thing defenses do is protect deep. So
Yeah.
if they don't have a blitz off the line, then they probably bailing. So that deep post
True.
is probably gonna be killed unless you hit it right there in the money.
And this is
So
another side of it too, is what do you read first? Because already who different people, different guys read different things first. Where are you reading
right.
first? Are you
It
reading
depends on
front
what
to back or are you
front
reading
to
back to
back or
front?
back to front.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think
So
if
I
you're a guy that reads front to back, you also can't be scared to take the deep shot when you make that progression out to the safeties. You realize, oh, there's a shot to be taken there, and you don't take it. That's what I mean by like that's somebody playing scared.
yeah, but
That's the same thing with Alex Smith. You reading
the,
front to back, and then the deep shot is out there, and you
but
just don't take it.
does he have besides CD Lamb? I guess Brandon Cooks
Brandon
starting
Cooks,
kind of emerged
Tony
and things
Pollard
like that.
in the run or in the passing game gets open,
Yeah, in the
but it's usually
backfield though.
medium. No, he
Yeah,
runs good solid routes deep in the intermediate, whatever the fuck it's called.
yeah. But like Purdy can read back to front because he got
Yeah,
Debo and Kittle and things like that. I don't think with Dak's offense it's a back to front type of offense. As in like
I
CD's the only one you can probably
but no,
say
that's
is just like. But
but
if he
Brandon
don't win at
Cooks
the
is a
line,
deep threat
if you
also
don't,
though.
yeah, but
You got
he
two
ain't.
guys that can get deep.
He's a deep threat off play actions right now. Like in his younger days, yeah, but right now it's more like he's the third read on every play type thing. Like if you see Brandon Cooks right
True.
now, it's either a design like screener hitch for him, or he always getting the ball and trying to toe drag it in because it's just like that's where the last read came. But if you don't see CD Lamb lined up man to man coverage and he went off the line, they're a back to front team. Like the Cowboys always been, they always, you got to realize it's their first year without Zeke. So they probably still trying to find themselves without Zeke
How
because
to yeah.
half the time they used to be like, all right, we got Zeke, we can run. We know we're gonna get about 3 yards with Zeke, and then now we can run a screen with Pollard or something, and then now we got, and then what? Dalton Schultz is gone. Like that was a big
Yeah, but
middle
they
of the
got
guy
Jake
field
Ferguson
type
too
guy.
though. Jake
Yeah, Ferguson's
Ferguson's
good, but
but he's a
he's
what is
solid.
he a second year?
Yeah, he's solid. I ain't gonna say he sucked, but he's
Yeah.
solid. But Dalton Schultz is still getting off with he got near 1,000 yards with the Texans.
It's up
Like,
there. He's having a really good year. I know that.
yeah, I was like, so he ain't washed up yet either. So it's just like I don't know. I just feel like they still trying to get into this offense that they got, which they'll probably bring this offense back next year. So this year, I feel like they'll. I don't. I had the Cowboys losing in the divisional round anyway, but I think if they bring this whole feng shui of the offense back next year, then I think they'll be decent. Just add a running back because Pollard's just not gonna do it by himself.
I
But they need to
think
add a running back, and I think Dak. I think everything be good, but it's gonna be the Cowboys every year. The Cowboys is gonna, and I say
I
it
would
every year.
just yeah.
I like Dak, but it's the Cowboys. Like it's just like they're good. They're a good divisional round team. They're good TV for people because they got the star on the side of their head and people love the Cowboys. But I didn't say they was going to the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying like I think they're a good team. And I
Well
think
here,
Dak's a good quarterback.
can I give you a stat to put a cap on this Dak being a scary player type of thing,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
the conversation that we having. So
Just mental.
the
Just mental.
the vaunted intended air yards next gen stat.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott is behind Derek Carr, Desmond Ritter, Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, Jordan Love, Ryan Tannehill, which I don't know, Baker Mayfield. Does that make you like he's 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 pretty low down there. He's
Yeah, but
in the middle somewhere.
ever since they got rid of Des Bryant, have they really been like a down the field throwing type of team? I don't really see the Cowboys been a powerful offense, but it's been more like Zeke, one good receiver, and we're gonna do a lot of screens and we're gonna push it. Or it's and they
I
always I don't never remember them growing up being like because I wasn't born in the '80s with Michael Irvin and all them.
so
It was
hold
like
on. Okay, here, let me ask you a question real quick before you get into it. Would you so if the Cowboys fizzle out, let's say they lose one more game and they go into the playoffs and get blown out by the Buccaneers, you
okay.
firing the whole staff and keeping Dak and paying him next year, and that's what
No,
you're doing instead?
no. No, that's it. They need to go to the divisional round at least. But I think I said this earlier. like a couple weeks ago on our podcast. I think Dak needs to. I wouldn't be mad if he left or went to another team. To be perfectly honest, just to you know,
It's just confusing because I think what your brain is doing right now is saying that he's better than Brock Purdy, which that's
he
fine. If
is.
you feel like he's better than Brock Purdy, I'm okay with that. But then like the argument that Dak is not like a mostly check down guy who gets a little frazzled well a lot of the time and kind of just stops taking deep shots and that's why they lose some of these games. I think that's where you lose me at. I'll
I don't know.
with you on the Brock
I
Purdy
don't
thing.
think he had
He's
besides
Alex
CD.
Smith. He's Alex Smith.
Besides CD, he don't really have that. Like, but we gonna say Brandon Cooks is that deep threat on that team. Like, who else does he have?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb and Jake
Yeah, but
Ferguson
right,
and
but
Tony
those
Pollard.
okay, yeah, but we talking deep threats. Like we talking like bona fide deep threats. Cooks is not the Cooks of the Texan days.
No, he ain't. No, he had what them
Right.
2 good years, and then he just been bouncing around the league since then.
Right. CD Lamb is a deep threat, but he has to beat single coverage off the line and sometimes a double coverage.
Yeah,
Good. I'm glad CD is that good. Ferguson is sitting there somewhere mid to intermediate, 10 to 15 yards.
yeah,
If you hit him
usually,
on
yeah.
a yeah. So it's just
They'll
like
hit him up the seam every once in a while. But
yeah,
yeah,
so it's
I
like
know
who
what
is
you're saying.
this? Who is his like I can go there. I know if CD's locked, I need this dude hitting up the seams right now. Is he there? Like last year when we had McCole and MVS wanted to be good and everyone like we had multiple deep threats where it's just like, damn, these dudes is always down the field open.
I
Like
mean, the
what's going
crazy thing
on?
is we
Like
saying that, and CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, and Jalen Tolbert all
Gallup, that's the
average.
one. See,
They
Gallup
all
is the one
average
we was missing.
13 yards per reception though. So they all are going. They're going. That's the thing. Like they going down the field. They calling plays down the field, and they hitting them here and there. And I'm, I just don't think. I just think Dak is
That
just he don't. I don't know. To me, that's the whole problem.
I
That
don't
didn't
know.
happen in this Dolphins game. No, that didn't happen. The defense didn't show up. That's what we really should be talking about. Where is the Dallas Cowboys defense at? Because we can argue about Dak all day, but this time it wasn't Dak's fault.
Yeah.
That defense just I don't know what happened. Like it's crazy to think they got the ball with two. They gave the ball back to the Dolphins with like a minute and a half left, and this just played like a soft zone. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, wait a minute. Like you almost better off giving up a touchdown here or first forcing like a sack or a turnover than just playing a soft shell and just sitting back and just letting them walk down the field and then just getting field goal range and kicking the field goal, taking all the time off the clock. It
What they
didn't make
said
no sense to me.
they defense don't travel.
That's so crazy though. Like how does that happen? How does that happen that way? Where you just literally just hey we ain't got it. We not playing because we're not in Texas.
Yeah,
That's
basically,
crazy.
we in Miami instead, so
I
we
just
don't
don't
suck.
see how mentally you even get there to like to a point where that
And
is a
what
thing.
also that I heard a good little take from one of my friends I was chilling with. They said that they asked me a question. It's like, do you think um players having podcasts during the years
Is an
during the
issue.
season is an issue? Because look at everybody that's had podcasts so far during Michael Parsons in and out
Hmm.
of good play. Kelsey and his brother been doing some shit that's unheard of with them. Like Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey, man, he's going Kelsey dropping balls. Jason Kelsey's getting more turnovers and
And
false starts and
penalties and
things,
yeah.
penalties and things like that. Like you think I think what's your take? Because I think that might be a little something with it.
I listened to what is it? The new Heights show. I actually listened to it today. I think it comes out on Tuesdays, but I listened to it
Tuesdays, yeah,
today. And I don't know, when I listened to it, it just kind of I felt that a little bit. There was something where Travis Kelsey said, like, oh, maybe we need to stay after practice, or maybe we need to start communicating with each other more. Maybe we need to just get more reps and da 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 da. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, bro, I understand. I do a podcast, so I understand you just sitting somewhere for an hour or two and talking, but also it's like the vibe, like I think definitely can fuck up your vibes because you in a game thinking maybe you not necessarily sitting in the game thinking about what you're gonna say on your podcast, but it is something extra that you do have to take into consideration every moment of every time, like everywhere you were at, every time like you're in practice, you have to think about it a little bit more. You know what I mean? I think it does
Hmm.
add a little extra stress of fuck, I have to go sit in front of people and talk about this now. Because when they got to Travis part on the podcast, they like just sped through it and he was like, all right, thanks, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to talk about this shit. It's like, well, I bet because you played like trash. Like you didn't I mean, he didn't play like great, but like everybody's playing bad.
Yeah.
Of course you don't want to sit around and talk about it. You'd rather sit around and talk about honey buns and uncrustables and cereal and what's your favorite beer and shit like that. Of course. Yeah. Then just to me, that's the thing is like you are sports people. And I think that automatically gives you like an in being a podcast. But if you just want to
Right.
be a podcaster, you should just do that. I think if those guys stopped talking about sports, it wouldn't be as bad. Like what
Bad.
you're saying,
But
I
they
don't
want
think
to
it would
talk about
affect
the
them.
last. They want to talk about the game that just happened 2 days
Yeah,
ago.
to me, that's the part where it's like that adds a little wrinkle in your brain that
Yeah.
I think does kind of drag you down a little bit because, of course, you're gonna think about, damn, I got to go on my podcast and talk about this. You miss a catch at the end of a game or something, you have to. You're thinking about it. You're like, oh fuck, like people in the comments on my Instagram. Like even worse, it's gonna be even worse because you're posting more content of yourself talking about this stuff. So it's gonna just like double down more and more. And I think that does, yeah. I think I don't think it's a problem. I think those guys should just do regular podcasts. Just do the Joe Rogan podcast where you just talk about the shit you want to talk about. Like I don't you talking about other teams and other sports. And to me, it's like the podcast, I always skip through Travis Kelsey's podcast. I don't listen to Michael Parsons' podcast because I don't want to hear
No, I
people with
don't.
such a ridiculous bias towards their team players, like
Yeah.
slanted towards
S-
themselves. You know what I mean?
Every time they win is the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Super Bowl back on board. Like,
Yeah, and it just
all
gets
righty.
annoying where it's just kind of like, okay, you guys are always going to talk about everything this specific way because you have to be safe and you got teammates, you got players in the league, you know these guys, you play with them, da da da. It was just like when Lamar talked about that reporter because some reporter said the 49ers are going to kick their ass. And he was like, he ain't never put no pads on, blah, blah, blah. So he can't
Yeah.
really say nothing. But it's like, Lamar, you can't say that because if Michael Parsons said, we going to beat the shit out of y'all trash, you would have the same energy, except you got to go see him too, though. Like, so to me, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same. Like, we talking about sports. I think, yes, if you guys are out there playing, you should, we're not getting the real version of these type of podcasts. The real version
No.
of this shit is like what
It's
Jeff
like,
Teague is doing.
yeah,
Have you
and
listened? Yeah,
Kevin
like
Garnett and Paul
yeah,
Pierce, where they retired
they
Pat
done.
McAfee,
Yeah, Pat
things like that. It's
McAfee.
just like
We're gonna say, well, hey, the
he
guys in the locker room, yeah, they smoking weed after the game and da. Like, were they really talking? There's not this direct, dire consequence that I have to go
right.
deal with every day of the week except Tuesday, my one
Yeah. I
off
can't get
day.
nobody in trouble and I can't get in trouble
Yeah, I can
because
just
I'm done with
talk.
the organization. Yeah.
If you can't do that, don't talk about the sport. Just go do a podcast about bullshit. Those are also good. I would much rather listen to a New Heights show with the Kelsey brothers where they just talk about fucking getting drunk and going out and fucking uncrustables and fucking ghosts and I don't like you know what I mean? Just whatever the fuck. Like,
Whatever they like. I feel like they like a lot of shit. Whatever besides what we just saw and witnessed two
yes.
days ago.
And
I
just
don't want to
give the
hear,
same old Russell Wilson, attaboy, good job. Let's go, guys. Good job.
oh,
We can
I
do
believe in
better.
us.
Like,
I believe in us. I
it
believe in this.
sucks.
Like, because what's gonna be the podcast when the football season over?
I don't think they do it when the season's over.
That's what I'm saying. Like that.
But like with Micah is jumping out there. Micah's almost the opposite of that, where it's just like he just jumping out there and just saying wild shit both ways. And it's like, bro, this also is weird to listen to because it's like you just jumping out the window with shit. I don't know. I think for them, for me, it's cool. It's content. You're just giving me, for somebody like me, more content to talk about. But for
Right.
themselves, y'all should probably just relax and just wait till you retire to go do that,
They should definitely probably like put it on pause for the playoffs.
or pick your spots where you go on to other shows that people listen to, where you can be like put in a better position to
Right.
talk about shit versus every single week you got to go on and talk about all the games, all the shit that's going on with people that you are in the same exact circle as. Like that's where it gets squirrely. It would be
You
like
just
if I was still rapping, doing some shit where I only talked about hip hop, like and the direct shit that's happening in the city. Like that would be the dumbest shit possible. You know
you
what I mean?
yeah, you go play your
Because it
brother,
only
then
goes
two
two
days later you're
ways.
on a podcast together talking about the
Yeah.
game.
Because it's only
It's
the shit
like,
only goes two ways. You're either gonna talk shit about somebody and you got to go see him, or you not gonna say nothing to the point where it's just boring.
mm-hmm.
And that's what I've like. What that's what I get to with the player shit. It's like Draymond. When I listen to Draymond's podcast every once in a while, it's just like, no, nigga, 'cause I know this is not what you really think. This is not what you are
Yeah,
actually thinking
no,
about the
it's
stuff that's
watered. It's
happening.
it's it's watered down by the associations.
Yeah,
But
and
my thing,
if
that's
it
what I'm
is
saying.
what
Like,
you're really thinking, then it's a problem for you. So then it's just dumb. So then it's like you can't win really.
I
But
don't
yeah, I
listen
do
to
think it
no
affects you.
current players podcast. You
No.
have to be retired if you want Daniel to click it. I love
Yes.
Travis to death. Like go tight end. But I would not listen to your podcast until you retire, man. I need the real Travis Kelsey, the the robe on the stage, drunk as hell, winning the
Yes.
Super Bowl.
You got to fight for your right.
Travis Kelsey. That's what I
Burrowhead
need.
my ass. Yeah, but you
Yeah, I
can't be
need
that.
that Travis Kelsey.
Yes, but you
And
cannot
until
be that
then,
while you
I'm sorry.
playing.
Like I give you my click on NFL Network and Fox and CBS, but New
Yeah.
Heights won't get a click from me until afterwards, unless you endorse this podcast yourself.
Unless
Then,
we on there, yeah, that's fine.
then you get a click every Tuesday. Trav, go and hit
uh, so let's
up.
go. So we talking about the boy. Let's go through. Just talked about the Cowboys. Let's go through the Chiefs game. The Chiefs lose 20-14 in a game where Aiden O'Connell didn't complete a pass after 2 minutes left in the first quarter. That's probably the most damning statistic that there is. I don't even want to like try to rack
Even
my brain for the rest of them that I was trying to remember.
yeah, it's crazy because when in doubt, the Chiefs just know how to break the worst records, don't they? It don't
Yeah.
matter how good we are, how bad we are. We be breaking some fucking records, don't we? Like
Mm-hmm.
first team to lose a playoff game when the other team didn't score a touchdown, and we scored two or
Uh,
one or something like that. So it's just like,
let's start with the first question that's on here. Let me ask, because we've had this conversation multiple times now. You know where I stand.
yeah.
Is the offense fixable to you? Now, looking back, it's been a few weeks since we did this the last time. Do you think we can fix the issues with the offense?
Okay, so it's a two-part answer
Okay.
because the things that are fixable, that are controllable
Hmm.
from a player standpoint, is turnovers.
I mean,
Like
yeah, go ahead. I
and
have a
catching the
point to
ball
that, but yeah.
and catching the ball, which they didn't really. I think Trav's had a drop last game,
Yep.
but it wasn't really drops weren't really bad this Oakland game. Like I think
Mm-mm.
Trav had one, and that was about it. So catching the ball, turnovers are fixable because you just don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's just simple. Just like don't do it. Like, but play calling, I was looking at some of those plays, and I'm like it was in the first half. It was a play, two plays. I got
Let's
two
see if it's
plays.
the same thing I'm
I
thinking
can
of.
I can vividly remember. It was 3rd and 5,
Hmm.
and they put Rasheed Rice in the slot,
Hmm.
and they know that's always where Kelsey is because Kelsey can read the defense.
Yeah.
and and Pat knew the scenario, knew what zone it was, and it was a zone. So he hiked it and threw it real quick. That's when Pat threw his hands up like you got to be
Oh
ready.
yeah, and he turned and the ball
And
was
he
already
turned and the
past
ball was
him.
already gone.
Yeah.
Why was not why wasn't Travis Kelce in that position right there where
That's a
we
good point.
knew that's what you got to know your personnel. Also,
Ooh.
why are you doing a read option with Patrick Mahomes on the 4 yard line with Isaiah Pacheco?
A
If
a
anybody needed
back
to,
a backwards read option.
if anybody needed to do a read option with Patrick Mahomes, you put Blake Bell or Travis Kelce back there. One, because you do it all the time with them, and two, is because those dudes had quarterback experience.
Bro,
You
it was
gotta know
a
your
backward.
personnel.
Like, what was the play? A
It
back, or
was
like a
a it was a
reverse read
it was a
option
it was
where
an
you
RPO option to the quarterback. But the thing is,
where
which
he
I
can
seen the
throw it,
play. No, he was gonna either hand it to Pat Mahomes and Pat
Where it
was gonna
was
throw, or
Pacheco
Pacheco was
keeps it
gonna
to
run.
run, or he gives it to
Yeah,
Pat to
or he's
throw
get
it.
to Pat and
How the
Pat
fuck
because
is Pacheco supposed to read that?
he did. He read it right, but he
But I
fucked it
mean,
up
what
because
is
he
he
read
just
it.
reading the
He read it
end, the
late.
D end?
No, he read the D tackle. Because if you go back and read that, look at that play. As soon as he put the ball in Pat Mahomes' stomach, the
Mm-hmm.
D tackle broke the line. So he
Mm.
tried to pull it back real quick because Pat was about to get fucked up.
That doesn't make
So
any sense.
right when he pulled it back, the ball fell.
It's crazy because
So
all the RPOs, aren't you just reading the corner? Really, you're reading your receiver.
you know you reading the RPOs, reading the edge, the farthest
But no, no,
blitzer.
no,
So if there's a
no, no, no. That would just be a read option.
yes,
The
you
RPO is a run pass option. So on the
yeah, but
RPO, aren't
it
you
was a
wouldn't you read the
RP,
corner first? But
but
then why
that
are
was
you
like
running
a
a read option with fucking Mahomes? That's why I
be,
said that's a
but that's what I said.
weird.
The play was weird because it was like a RPO with
Because yeah, what
Mahomes
is he
with the
supposed to
runner, but
read?
he had
Because
a receiver drop too.
but
That's the
that's what
only
I
reason
mean.
why.
That's what I mean. Is like, so if I'm running an RPO, in an RPO as the quarterback, your real read, you are eyes on the receiver, deciding whether to let go of the ball or pull it up and throw right to your one read, right?
Right, the one
So
read.
where does it make any sense at for Pacheco to get the snap and do a read option with Mahomes, which I'm assuming goes into, which is really an RPO because it's either I keep it and run or hand it off and Pat throws it. But how the
Yeah.
fuck is Pacheco supposed to
So
know whether or not the receiver would even be open? Because he could have
well,
handed it to Pat and Pat could have just been like, fuck.
because the receiver wasn't Pat's option. Travis Kelce, if they would have did that right, was wide the hell open. If you watch that
I would
play,
love to go
he
back and see the all 22 on that.
yeah, because he broke the as soon as that play happened, dude broke the line, split two linebackers down the field, down the seam
Mm,
easily. So, but the thing about it is, Pacheco seen that D tackle break the line, so he was like, "All right, I'm about to just take this from Pat."
that doesn't make that's a you know what it's funny because you said that you was talking about the play calling and I knew like, oh, maybe there's a problem here when they ran four receivers all hitches, and I was like, okay, everybody just went out and turned around, and I was like, they did not just do that.
That's what we running
Like,
flag football.
that's what I'm about
That's
to say. I was like, they did not just run like one of the like most basic fucking stupid, keep it simple, stupid plays of all time. Just run 5 yards, turn around. And then
or just
Pat was just standing there like, nope, nobody's open. Nobody
get open.
moves.
Now
Nobody
getting open
moves.
is not
I think
fixed.
one person moved, and it was just like, okay, I just
They
guess I'll
stand
just
there and they
fucking.
like, I'm like, bro, you know he about to move, you move. Like,
It was just crazy. Like
but
you can't run shit like that when you have multiple players that like don't run back to the ball. Like the pick for Justin Watson,
he does not. I
run
hate.
back to the ball. Sky Moore,
What?
they had a pick like that this earlier this season. You
Know
didn't
your
come back to the ball, especially when you run
know
a
your
deep
person.
comeback. That wasn't even a
Come
hitch
back
on
to
one of those. If it's a deep comeback, you have to run. You have to come
it's
back to the ball.
it's called a comeback for a reason.
Yeah, you don't just turn around and be like, ah, here I am. Like, no, come. You have to literally come back like 5 yards, 10 yards, like keep coming back to the ball.
And that's
Like,
what it hits with
ah,
know your personnel, coaches. Why are we putting Justin Watson on the outside knowing it's happened multiple times? I was saying that I was in the room watching the game with my sisters. I said Justin Watson never comes back to the
never.
ball.
And
Ever.
I was saying the same thing. I was like, in on that play, yes, Pat threw kind of a sketchy ball a little bit, but also you have to come back to the
He was the
fucking
number one
ball.
read. He was the first read.
uh,
Pat didn't look nowhere else. He looked straight at Justin Watson. I'm
and
sure in the
he
huddle, he was like, it's coming to you.
and he literally turned and just like came back like 2 steps and just stopped. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Or like MVS slowing down on the
Uh,
route.
bruh, bruh. MVS
Like,
breaking the wrong way on routes a couple games ago. He did that shit twice in the same game where it's just like, hey, just
so
all you got to do, the
the
safety's
the
inside, you beat your man, break outside.
the only thing
Very
I can say
run,
about
run the football. Football, I might have not played at a high level, right? But also, football is still as simple as run to the open space. That's how backyard football works. In
yeah,
when you're a receiver, run to the open space. There's nothing else to that. That's it. That was my only other point.
find the open zone and sit in it.
You
If
go,
it's zone,
yes,
sit in it. If it's man, beat your man. If you locked up, if your quarterback running around, guess what? Sneak behind your man and get open.
like that's the
Like it's
weirdest
just,
thing to me. Like you, I guess. Well, you
do
don't have
y'all
to
want the
explain to
ball or
me
do y'all not want the ball?
the
Like that's
thing
it.
that
Just comes down to it.
the thing that I would want to know specifically is how does it work with guys in the NFL? You at the NFL level, and you know it's zone. Maybe you don't know it's zone coverage, but at some point you can recognize zone coverage. And I just don't. I see this all the time where it's like I see it. This is zone. The fucking outside linebacker didn't even move. Somebody just ran right past him. He didn't move. You just ran right past that guy, and you don't realize it's zone. And then when you stop on your route, maybe you have a little hitch in the middle of the field, and you stop on your
Right.
route. You don't even look. You just stand there and go. You ain't even look around. Let me look this way. Let me look one. Let me look maybe just one direction. Maybe look. Just look to the sideline. Is anybody over there? Maybe there's nobody there. Go to the open fucking space. There's nobody over there. The safety drop. The corner went is down in the flat with the running back. You ran right past this linebacker and you don't even look around.
And
You
you
just
just continue
stand
your
there.
route. You just continue your route. And then now you're
Yeah.
just looking stupid.
Or if you have somewhere you have some type of stop, a route where you stop, you just stand there and look at the quarterback. Like, I don't even know if I'm open or not. I'm not even going to look around to check to see if there's anybody around me. That's the craziest because the reason I say is that's where she writes a lot. If you look on them hitch routes, on any of the comeback routes, he always just stops. It's like, bruh,
Mm-hmm.
you not even gonna look. Like, especially when Pat's running around for 8 seconds, you're not even gonna look. You just gonna stand there
At
and
least
just give me the ball.
I
Like, I
don't know.
can't give you the ball. There's somebody literally 2 yards right behind you, standing
Just
right
go, just
here.
run that way. But all I'm saying is, even I'm not in the NFL. I probably
Nah,
could play better receiver in the NFL than half those dudes. But I'm 5'10", 150. But
yeah, you got
but
to
the
put on a
thing about
little bit more
yeah, but the
weight.
thing about it is, even in flag, and I'm sorry to bring up flag all the time, but it's just like
Nah.
it helps people understand. Like
Yeah. You
when
understand basic concepts,
yeah,
especially when it comes to the passing.
I played 5 man, 4 man, 7 man.
Hmm.
In 5 man, just a couple weeks ago in 5 man, we before the playoffs, we played this team Looney Tunes. I had 3 touchdowns. All three of them came down on broken plays.
Yeah.
All three of them came on broken plays. Quarterback was getting blitzed. He beat the rush, and now he's running around because our first play wasn't there. What do? You get open, bro. I literally caught one over my shoulders. Almost ran into a dude, but caught it, snagged it, and so it's like it's
It's
just get open
basic
for your
shit.
quarterback, man. It's just
Yes.
basic, like, oh man, this play. Just don't stand there like, hey, here, I'm right here, I'm right here, like,
Yeah.
bro, dude, I see you. Get open.
Yes. It's
That's what.
basic
Even playing
shit.
as a quarterback, when I beat the rush, you like, okay, bet, like, and then now you're looking up and all your receivers is just like
Just staring back at you.
playing handsy with the corner, or they not coming back to you or anything. Now you
Hmm.
just back there trying to
Like,
beat the rush and everything. And it's just like, I'm just gonna throw this ball deep as I can, and whoever get it, get it. At this point, since y'all don't want to get open, I'm gonna just make y'all open.
that
Like,
shit crazy.
and it's really frustrating at any level of football. Even if you playing in your backyard, any level of football is annoying when you beat the rush and your receivers is sitting there acting like they don't know how to play football.
Yeah. It's
Especially the ones that you talked up highly because half of them won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Like,
It's tough because I think the answer to the question is I think it's a no. I don't think it's fixable. I think like you were
you know what's
saying,
fixable?
the turnovers, even the turnovers, I don't think it's a fixable thing. I think it's just because nobody's getting open. Pat is forcing a bunch of crazy like I have to throw it in these certain situations, and he's just chucking it and playing stupid, doing stupid shit sometimes because hey, I have to because ain't
I
nobody
have
getting
to.
open, and I got to just do what I got to do. And I think that's where a lot of the turnovers come from, which
You,
stems from the receivers not being able to get open, and that's the thing that cannot be fixed.
you know what's gonna be. You know what is gonna be fixed though.
Hmm.
Matt Nagy not having another offense coordinator job
He
after this
done.
year.
If it's
He's
true
done.
that Andy Reid and Matt Nagy are sharing the play calls the same way him and Bieniemy used to do, and I think it is because of I feel like I in
You
this
could
game
tell the
specific,
difference.
bro, I feel like there was how many bubble screens can you run
Oh my
in
god, I was
one
gonna say
game?
the defensive ends knew it was coming. I'm like, who the fuck is running these
Bro, I
screens?
think
To
every
every player get a
receiver.
screen.
That's
Every
what I was.
player get a
Yes,
screen.
every receiver is getting a fucking
To the
screen.
point where the DEs just they didn't even blitz. They just
Mm.
came down quick and tried to get
Yep,
a hand up.
just run out to the flat. Here I go. Oh
It
man.
was and you already know the bubble screens. It's probably Matt Nagy
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was that's
easily.
the Matt Nagy special? When in Chicago, that was the
Chicago.
thing. I literally was reading something earlier, no, a few days ago about Matt Nagy, where they were saying that was his like specialty. That was his big thing was the screen game, and he runs all these intricate screens with these intricate blocking schemes and all this. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, bro, a screen is a screen. It either work or it don't. There is no scheming up a screen.
No.
Like you can do all this fancy shit to this guy. He's gonna come from in motion, and then the slot guy is gonna block down on the outside corner, and we're gonna create leverage. You can try to scheme up all that shit. It does not matter if somebody's just like, oh, I see a screen. Guess what? I'm gonna blow this
Where's
shit up.
and where's all the jet sweeps at that we used to run? We
Who gonna run it?
like shit, get that shit to KT. KT can't catch, but he could do a jet sweep. The last jet sweep he took before he got hurt went for 12, 14 yards.
I just
Like,
this shit
damn,
is
give him
sad, bro.
something.
So okay, let's ask the other question. Who's taking the most? You think were you putting all the blame on Matt Nagy or majority of it?
No. Uh I'm putting the blame on whoever hired him. But anyway,
I was gonna say
nah,
I think it's
but
really an Andy Reid
it's
problem.
a
Sadly,
it has to be like he has to be.
he's the boss. If you
Yeah,
at your
he
job,
is.
he is the boss. You can have all the ideas you want in the world. If you go up to your boss and say, "These are my ideas," and your boss say, "We're not doing that," guess what? You not doing that, or you just got to go out of your way to just do whatever the fuck you
Well,
want to do.
they said that he's the GM. So at the warehouse that I'm a coordinator at,
Hmm.
we have a GM.
Yeah,
So the GM is not the big dog of the company, but he is of that organization of our
yes,
warehouse. So push come to shove, everything's going to come right back to him, regardless of what supervisor he hired and things like that. So, yeah, Andy Reid has a big take in it. Yeah, obviously, Matt Nagy's the offensive coordinator. He's supposed to call the offensive plays, but Andy Reid is also an
yeah,
offensive coach.
yeah.
So it's just like
You have your hands deep
you
into
have
that
your
shit
hands
too.
deep in it. So it's just like if you see something or hear something coming, because another thing, why is Mahomes bitching on the field? Not saying like a bad way, but I'm
No,
just
I
saying
know.
bitching at y'all because y'all can't get the play
Call
calls
the
in.
fucking play. Call or what he
Call the
said.
fucking
Call the
and
damn
I've seen
play.
it 1,000 times. Like I'm sitting up there like, why? When have you ever seen a Chiefs team since Mahomes been in the game where they hiking the ball with 5 seconds left and they
Yeah.
can't get the motions because you know we always got motions in. So
Or they
every
have to
time I look,
call a timeout in the middle of the motion, just like this shit done. Timeout. Niggas ain't
and
in the
he's
right
just like,
spot. They not running the
what are
right
we doing?
way.
Receivers don't know where to line up. I'm like, do y'all not practice? Like, what's going
uh
on? Like, it's horrific to look at as an offense.
Somebody
Horrific.
I was
Like,
listening to a podcast where they was talking about Andy Reid with the Eagles, and
mm-hmm.
it was post Super Bowl. pre-Vic. So like 2005 to like 2008 or
8,
9.
yeah.
And they was basically talking about how they had this period where after the Super Bowl, Andy Reid just stopped throwing the ball deep. He stopped calling plays deep for Donovan McNabb to throw the ball deep, and the offense got stale. And what happened was they drafted a bunch of young guys. They drafted LaShawn McCoy. They drafted Deshaun Jackson,
Deshaun Jackson, yeah.
and there was somebody else that they threw in there too. And
Macklin, maybe? No, Macklin was a little later.
now that might have been around the
Jason
same
Avant.
time. It was
Avant.
somebody. They drafted a couple. They drafted like 3, 4 guys, and they started. I think that's when like they kept just doing the throw it short, throw it short. They got rid of McNabb, brought Vic in, and opened the playbook up. And what happened? They was back in the playoffs again. And I think we might just be there where we're just in this weird Andy Reid cycle of, hey, we changed everything for Pat and had great success. And then we changed shit up a little bit because we got rid of Tyreek. So let's like get pieces outside of receiver. Let's dumb down the receiving core or like what
Right.
we do, like scheme wise and play calling. Let's dumb all that all the way down and just try to short shit the real true West Coast offense. And we won a Super Bowl. So they went, you know what? Let's double down again. Let's get worse at receiver or just not get better. And then just
Yeah.
get
We
even
said it
more simple than that. And now we're just
stay the
in
same.
this same cycle where it's like we're at the bottom of that same era, but it's like we're not getting rid of Pat. So the real only thing to do here is get more talent and go back to throwing the ball deep.
Yeah, and that's why this draft this year is gonna be Chris Jones. You probably not gonna be here next year. I love you to death, but we need to sign some of these defenders up, and then we need to save some money because we're definitely gonna get a receiver in the first round. We probably gonna go offensive line second round, D line third round, and I guarantee in the fourth round we're gonna get the fastest receiver on the board. We're gonna
Which
open like
boy,
and he ain't even gonna be a power five receiver. We're gonna go get a receiver from Grambling State that
yeah,
ran
a
a 4 2
JUCO.
6.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, what is they doing? They be like, he ran a 4 2. We just need him to run straight down the seam so we can open up everything else.
Oh
Like, I
man.
already see where everything is going. We gonna so
It's crazy. I made the argument that maybe it would be better for the Chiefs if they missed the playoffs because you get a year of rest. It's a real panic to the whole organization. Like, oh shit, we cannot do this the same way again for a third year. Like, we have to make major, drastic changes. And I think maybe that'd be good for them. As sad as it would be for
as
everybody,
sad as it is, as sound as it sound, and as sad as it be, as sad as it sound, and as sad as it will be, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't
I
think so.
think the
They
depression is
literally just have to win one game.
yeah, I think the depression is gonna be when we lose first or second round.
Ugh.
And it's gonna be horrific. As in, like, first round is at home, which we do suck at home. So
Yeah, it ain't like that means anything this year.
yeah, it's just like so that shit don't mean nothing. But
So who will we play right now? This is a
The Bills, which would be worse. So
ugh,
we played it's
yeah.
the six. They the six right now seed. So
Jesus. Ah, this shit hurts, bro.
I mean, now Isaiah Pacheco on concussion shoulder, so he probably out.
He done.
McKinnon was a big piece. I don't know if you see my status the other day, but I said a little under not a
Oh, I
little
did. Yeah, I
underline
remember seeing
where
that.
McKinnon not playing was real big, especially pass blocking
Yeah.
and screen wise. Because shit, at least you want to throw a screen, throw it to
Throw it to
McKinnon
the
at
best
least.
guy the guy that's best at screens.
Throw it to the guy who had 13 touchdowns last year. Like,
Well, shit,
but
let's rapid fire some of these other topics and then we can give a couple bets out and get up out of here. So,
oh yeah.
Russ. Russ is out. How you feel about that? Russ has been announced as
Ah,
on the bench and most likely getting cut this year. So
well,
I
it
mean, it
kind
was
of
bound to happen.
yeah, but it kind of enhanced my like not enhanced, but one Denver is basically saying they chalk it up for this season. But it's
Yeah.
weird because they still in the playoff hunt. But it's also just like made me a little bit more eager for this year because if I'm not mistaken, Denver plays Raiders. The Raiders the last game of the season.
Yes.
So
There's
if we
only
lose this
one
week,
scenario. There's one scenario where two AFC West game players teams can get in, and it is somebody has to completely lose out. I don't quite remember who it is. Okay, so it would be the Colts right now. The Colts have to lose out because they're 8-7.
right,
So you would need the Colts to lose out. You need one Texans, Bengals, Steelers to lose at least one more game. And then the Raiders, either the Raiders or the Broncos, because they play each other, one of them could still get in if they win out. But only one because
right.
they play each other, so they both can't, or they both have a chance to get in.
But I'm just going off of the simple fact that I feel like we make it to
Oh, and by the
play.
way, the Raiders play the Colts this week. So if they
That is
win,
true.
that bumps their chances up to 30%. And I think if they win the next game, which is against the Broncos, that bumps them up to where they're basically like in. They're like it's 50-50 dependent on Texans and Bengals, I guess. If
Yeah,
the
because the
Bengals beat
Broncos
us,
play
that fucks the whole thing up.
Broncos play the Chargers,
Hmm.
and they also got a backup Easton Stick.
Yeah. Steelers is the other team. They play the Seahawks. They probably lose that game and then they're done pretty much.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Russ is out. He's
rest of
gone.
that.
Fuck knows what's
Uh,
gonna happen with that
I
shit.
don't know where he actually gonna go. Like
I
that's
don't
an
know.
interest. Like
We'll
it.
have time to talk about that through the summer.
Yeah,
Or
80, 85,
closer than that.
85 million. Shit. Well, to be
March.
honest, if Bill, I don't know, Bill Belichick might not be a Patriot. So shit, will the Patriots be looking for a quarterback?
Yeah, that would
Are they
be
gonna be able to?
stupid. That'd be so dumb.
It depends on the coach they get though.
True. Yeah,
Falcons
so
looking for a quarterback.
yeah, I'd rather
A
them just
little,
go get Justin Fields.
a little bridge quarterback before they, get a draft pick. Never know what
Anybody
the.
that is thinking about taking Russell Wilson, just go get Justin Fields. He's there for probably a second round pick.
Oh, now so now you're on board about my Justin Fields
I
thing,
would
huh?
take
Okay, cool.
Justin
So we
if I
own it.
have to
We own
pick
it then,
one.
Justin.
You making me pick between Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
I
I'm
said
taking
Justin
Justin
Fields need
Fields
a
for
new home
sure.
just to show up, show. He was like Justin Fields. I'm like, yeah, Justin Fields, man. Come on, get
Yeah,
my
we both
man.
talking about guys that are backup talent quarterbacks, but let's
Justin Fields with Bijan Robinson would be a
it'd
good
be cool.
little something, something. RPO go crazy with
I
them.
would. I mean, they'd be better off if they were bad enough they could go get Jaden Daniels. That'd probably be the best
That'd
version. Yeah,
be,
you see what I
yeah,
mean? That's why.
that'd be nice too.
Or if
But
they could just win, you go get Caleb Williams or one of these guys. Like, but no, you just want to
yeah,
win
but we
games and not
also
make
could
the
be like
playoffs.
the Cardinals and draft a quarterback first every year, and then send the other first round quarterback out.
True, but
I still hate how they did Josh Rosen, but that's another story on another day.
that's
Like
funny.
that's disrespectful.
So the next
But
next one I have on here are the Jags dead. This one we just quick. We don't have to get too into it. I don't think so. I
I
think
don't think so. Not if
if
the
Trevor's
Raiders play
hurt
the
worse than we
Colts.
think, that's ooh. Oh, that's true. You're
I
right. That's a good point. And they play the Panthers next. They're not dead. They'll make the
Nah,
playoffs.
they good. They'll be in the playoffs. I mean, I would want
Uh,
to play them though. Like
are,
that would be the team. Like I would
yeah.
be licking my chops to play the Jags right now.
Here's the other one. Are the Bucks scary?
Yes, especially if they play the Cowboys in the first round, just to them. Like, I mean, I know I
Sneaky.
did. I know I did my Cowboy run and things like that with Dak and stuff, but they sneaky scary, as in like could win the first round game if they wanted to, and
Yeah.
they might win a division, which means the first round game gonna be in Tampa Bay,
Yeah. Because they all they got to do if they beat the Saints, they're in. They basically they lock the division up if they win. That's crazy.
and they playing the Saints. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, chalk that up as what's
This
the
week
points on
got
that?
is
I'm
a
looking
good
at it
week.
now.
It's
Yeah,
a
this is
this
a
is
good
a
week
good
for
week of
bet.
games.
This is a good week of bets too.
I mean, you want to go straight to the best? We can go straight there, and I'm cool. Because the only thing else I was gonna say is the Eagles are falling off worse than the Chiefs, and nobody talks about it like that.
Yeah,
Their
nobody talks about
defense
their
is
27th
worse.
ranked defense.
Yeah, their defense is worse than our offense is. But
Yep.
then we're just like, doesn't matter. They're still the Eagles. It's Jalen Hurts. Like, all right,
Exactly. Because I mean, when you the villains, you the villains. So it's just like people don't want to see consistent winning because Tom Brady made it boring for everybody now.
yeah,
So now if you win consistently, they hate you.
that's crazy.
So so it's okay. Like
Jeez.
it's cool. Like whether they say don't don't kick us while we down because once we get up,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a whole different fight. They hit for me once, they're gonna hit for me again.
Yeah, I didn't hit shit.
Oh, I mean, no, I'm just talking like the players. Like I was, that didn't even screw me up. But I got Gibbs. Who the Lions? They playing Dallas. Like I said, that vaunted Dallas defense not
Gibbs
really
for
fucking
a
with it.
anytime touchdown.
Anytime touchdown and over 40 yards rushing.
Okay, okay.
I got him on that easy. Well, I got it at 43 and a half and an anytime touchdown. I always get no. Actually, I got him for the yards, and I got Montgomery for a touchdown,
Ah, okay.
and then I got James Cook anytime touchdown against the Patriots, the Bills.
I did
Then I
all.
got Rams the points -5.5 right now. You might as well go grab it before it go up.
You said what? You said who?
I said the Rams -5.5
Ah, okay.
against the
Let's see.
Giants.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I think I put that in a part. Yep, I put it in one of my parlays.
Yeah. And then DeAndre Swift for a touchdown against the Cardinals. I didn't really see where his yards was at. He let me down last week, but I think he about to make a uh he about to make a little comeback.
This
So I
is
think that's what I got right now. But I gotta shoot over to Kansas
the place.
to play some.
I know
And
that
gotta,
shit
but
sucks.
not really. I stay on
Oh, that's right.
off
That's
in
right. You
in the
ain't that
city, so
far
I'm
away.
5. I'm literally like 3 minutes from state line.
Yeah.
I'm about to. I just go down the street, park, and then I just place my bets and wake my way back across the state line. Your boy Jordan Love, he didn't score. He didn't have 2 touchdowns last week, did he? Because
I don't think
I
so.
placed I placed that bet just for you, and then
And
that
missed.
man just me. I'm like Jordan Love two
They had.
touchdowns. Yeah, I
You
got
want to know
that.
something worse? They scored 33. So it was just they must have
Yeah,
just been
because
running the ball.
I also had AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones scoring a touchdown.
Mm.
And I had Aaron Jones going over 41 and a half yards, which I got all that. I thought Aaron Jones was going to get his on a screen, but it came off of, I think, a rush, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even remember. Hold on.
Actually, I can look at all my bets, my previous
I'm
bets.
just I'm just screenshotting all my shit now so I can just fucking send it and then I'll just pop it back on the video. Uh okay.
Damn, I didn't think the game was that close. 33-25 with
Yes.
the
I mean
Eagles
it
Giants.
wasn't. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Eagles Giants, yeah. That shit was hilarious. Like I didn't they was
I didn't
up
even notice it was that close.
they was up 20 zip in like the first quarter. And they had four fumbles and a pick six. Got him
Mm.
back in the game. I couldn't believe it. I looked back up and was like, what the fuck just happened? Like y'all were just up 20 to
also,
nothing.
people, Mike Evans, anytime touchdowns, been going good for the last like 3-4 weeks for me.
Oh, I bet. I bet that shit. this this will be the one week where he missed it. Watch, because you said that.
Right.
So you got Gibbs for an anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
You got
Over
no, you got Montgomery for an anytime
Montgomery and
touchdown.
then Gibbs for over
Gibbs for
40.
40.
Yeah.
What was the
Rushing
other one?
yards.
Rams
Rams
-5.
-5.5. Mike Evans, anytime touchdown. James Cook, anytime touchdown.
Okay, nice. Well, you already know this episode is coming out Thursday morning. So I cooked up, reluctantly cooked up a Thursday
A
night
Thursday night parlay.
football parlay. And it is the Jets versus the Browns.
That's a good one.
And it was yeah, it was sketchy, but I got some hitters for you. I got Brees Hall, 50 plus yards. So, yeah, I don't see how they I don't see them the Trevor Simeon is starting. I don't see them doing too much throwing the ball. So he should be able to hit 50 easy.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco to hit 225 yards. And then Garrett Wilson to hit plus 25 receiving yards. These are all alternate, by the way. I always go into alternate with some of these parlays. And then here's the ones that get a little sketchy. Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown. He basically has scored a touchdown in every other game almost exactly. And he didn't score a touchdown last game. So fingers crossed, this is the this is the other game that they put him in the red zone and get in the end zone. And also tied in that parlay is the Cleveland Browns money line. The Jets have nothing to play for. They can't keep the Browns from, getting in the playoffs. So there is no like Super Bowl aspect. So the Browns should just walk into an easy dub. Those five picks, Brees Hall plus 50, Joe Flacco plus 225, Garrett Wilson plus 25, and a Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown with the Browns money line is plus 1,000. So pretty good odds. You put in 10, you get 100 back.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was
the
about to say because
go ahead.
Kareem Hunt, I was thinking, but I said Jermaine Ford,
Jerome Ford, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jerome Ford. Yeah, my fault. Jerome Ford, anytime touchdown. It was like, you don't think Kareem? I'm like, nah, I'm go Ford on this one.
I
But
literally I did the same thing. I had Jerome Ford first, and then I looked, and it's literally every other game. Kareem Hunt has had a touchdown since Jerome Ford has become like the main starter. So like the last like 5 games. I
seemed
think if
like
you
I
go
could do
back,
two parlays.
but yeah, so like that's one of those things I was like, they probably goal line, they'll put Kareem Hunt in for this game and just kind of try to keep Ford fresh going into the playoffs because this game kind of doesn't matter. They're basically in no matter what because they already have 10 wins. Are they? Yeah, they're at 10-5
Yeah,
right now.
they ain't
So
no
they're
matter what.
yeah,
If
it's
the if
99%.
yeah, they're in. But what was I gonna say? Shit, just to add something else, like last week I did Joe Flacco .5 over a half a touchdown just to add something to my parlay because I knew it was gonna happen. Just to add a little money to it,
I'm
a
still sick.
little something, something.
I missed that last week's parlay by just the over. Everything else hit except the under. I had the under 47.5. That was the
Oh
only
yeah,
thing that didn't hit in last week's parlay. So the past 2 weeks or so, that's kind of how my parlay's been hitting. I hit every leg but one, and but you know what? This week we turning it around. The other
yeah.
small bets that I put in was I have my my I have a 5 team teaser.
Hmm.
So it's the Cowboys. This is all for the spread. Cowboys, Rams, Eagles, Jacksonville, and the Chiefs in I think it's a 6.5 point teaser.
For
I just
all
had
of
the
them.
screenshot. Yeah, yeah. You tease all those up to minus or 6.5. So it teases them all down to Cowboys minus a half point, Rams minus a half point, Eagles minus 3.5, Jacksonville minus a half point, and Chiefs minus 1.5. So the Chiefs just have to win by 2. The Eagles have to win by 4, and Jags, Cowboys, Rams just have to win the game. Period. That's plus 400. So, and then the individual bets I have, I have Lions plus 6. Basically, I'm saying that's going to be a close game under 6 points, so I can hit. You can still hit both.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of hedging the bet a little bit to be honest. And the little sneaky random pick I have in here, Packers to beat the Vikings. It's plus money. The money line straight up is plus 100. So you getting positive odds for a game that I mean,
Do neither of them really need it?
no,
Not really.
it's just because they just
They
playing
just
this
out there
game. Nope.
playing. They
Yep.
practicing.
the
1, 2, 3,
only
Cancun.
the only thing that makes me sketchy for that one now is because Jair Alexander's not playing.
Hmm. He's
So
been in and out this whole year though, hasn't he?
but he just did that weird shit where he went out for the coin flip. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
He went out on the coin flip and the coaches didn't know it. They won the coin toss and he said, "We want to play defense." and everybody started laughing, and he was like, "What are y'all laughing at?" And the ref was like, "You do you want to defer?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, ain't that what I said?" And so it was
They
like,
said no, you
"Okay,"
played there.
because it was like, bro, low key, you just said you want to
You
play
almost lost the
defense.
ball both
Yeah,
halves.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, it's hilarious.
yeah.
But
We do
also,
the same coin flipping flag, and
now
then
that
people
I'm
like
looking at
defense. I'm
it,
like,
this game does actually mean something because if the Packers win, they're at 55% to get in. If the Vikings win, they're at 49% to get in because they're both the 8 and 9 seeds. So they just need the
uh,
Seahawks to
somebody.
lose, basically. If the
But they play the
Seahawks lose, they're
Broncos.
tied, or the
Wait, who
Rams.
the?
So they still have a chance. Packers and Vikings would have to win out, and the Seahawks would have to lose, and the Rams would have to
But then
lose
we just
out,
say the
basically.
Seahawks is playing.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
They
no,
could
not
lose that
going.
game, but most likely not. They're not gonna lose that. But yeah, so
Yeah, no.
put your picks in, go back, listen to it, because I'm not reading them again. So hit that little 15-second button a couple times, it'll get you
A
right
couple
back over
times,
there.
or or just hit us up on any social media network.
Yeah,
Ask
don't
us
do
what our
that.
picks
I'm not
are.
sending it to you. It's on YouTube and it's on the podcast. Just go back, listen to it again, go back and pull it up on YouTube. You can just drag the little slider right back about 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, I send you my parlay if you send me $5.
There you go. Boy, I'll make a couple more parlays. You send me $5, I'll use that $5 to create a whole nother parlay. But so I hope you guys enjoyed the show. You know what to do. Subscribe on YouTube. It's the Carver 2X show on YouTube, Carver 2X on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Follow my guy at the real top five, the real underscore top five on
Yes,
all
sir.
social media
You know what this
platforms.
is, king shit, man.
And I
Get it
hope you
out here,
guys
man.
enjoyed. What was it? Gamble respectfully. Make sure you gamble respectfully, and we will see you next week.
Don't
Merry
forget to hook
Christmas,
them,
Happy New
man.
Year's. No, Rob Chop.
Hook them horns too while you at it.
And I left you in. I left it in last time. I left it in. You keep throwing it in. Oh shit! You keep throwing it in there. Just cut it out next time.